Hi there, welcome to another episode of Canada's Movie and TV Hosers. I'm one of your hosts, Gregory Barrett, and with me is my lovely wife, Christine.
Hi.
So, and this is our lovely kitty, Fluffy. She's really happy to be here. So
Far.
You want to tell everyone what our show is about?
Sure, our show is about fandom. We talk about movies, TV, books, maybe comic books, although we haven't really
Streaming,
talked about them yet.
trailers.
Yeah,
Yep.
any kind of
Pop culture
media
stuff.
like that. And if there's anything you want us to talk about, put it in the comments below. And I guess we'll start off with a little bit of news.
Yeah, so, little bit of news. I mean, there was some news about, you heard about Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
Him and the armorer and another producer, because he's a producer as well. They're all being charged in the shooting that happened on the Rust set.
Right.
Which was a couple of years ago now.
Charged with, is it
He's being charged with involuntary manslaughter. Yeah, and that might be because he's a producer on this, because there was a lot of cost-cutting measures on this.
Not because he was holding a gun, or because it sounds like they're talking about because he was holding a gun, he should have known better. That sounded like what they were saying. I don't know. Personally, I think that's a big reach.
Yeah, why was there live ammunition on a set?
That's the
also,
question.
why are they using real guns anyway? When you can just use fake guns.
Anyway, so now I guess it's everybody since now then is now not using any kind of real gun and maybe using like plastic type gun that looks like a real gun, or they're not doing that kind of thing anymore and just putting in the computer effects, the sound effects after.
Yeah, some production company are using just like these air guns
or something. I mean, because if you use something like with a projectile, the projectile have hurt people.
Mm-hmm.
Like the plugs or whatever.
Apparently, there was a lot of safety violations on this set even before this happened.
But isn't that
and they found more live ammunition afterwards.
Occupational health and safety type of violation. I don't know.
Yeah,
it seems to be a stretch. I mean, maybe it seems to me a stretch. If he is convicted, though, he wouldn't be able to travel for work, or he might have to go to jail for one thing. I can't see it, but anyway, we'll see what happens. And he wouldn't be able to leave the country.
Yeah, he wouldn't be able to.
No.
He's not the most liked celebrity in Hollywood for various
he's
reasons.
Not unliked, but I mean, it's not good.
Oh, definitely. I don't really have any opinions on it other way, but I don't think. In terms of whether he's guilty or not, or the armor, I mean, clearly that armorer is never going to work again in Hollywood. Someone who is new.
I think it was in her family or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, she was, apparently her father was an armorer as well. I don't have all the details. But my opinion on this is that I don't think that they should be using real guns on sets anyway. And there's no reason to have live ammunition. There's even been problems. Remember Brandon Lee in The Crow?
Yes.
Okay? That was a blank.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, blank on the plug, but blanks. Yeah.
So you don't need to have real guns shooting live ammunition or blanks.
I mean, we've
just
seen
an unnecessary safety risk.
Even here, like at our sci-fi conferences, people can make a lot of things out of some plastic or some foam or whatever. You can make guns that look real. You can even make guns out of icing that look real. So it doesn't seem that necessary, really.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's our thoughts. What do you guys think about the situation with Rust and Alec Baldwin being charged with involuntary manslaughter? Let us know down in the comments below. Other news that happened this week is, now Jason Momoa posted a video on Thursday or Friday.
Okay.
And he was coming, and he put on it was WB and DC. Okay, he put that in the video, and he came out of a meeting. He was supposed to be meeting with James Gunn and Peter Safran.
Okay.
I don't know if they.
Which is the new DC team.
Yeah, those are the co-heads of the new DC studios.
Yeah.
And we still haven't received any official announcements, even though they said they would be announcing stuff this month.
Right.
So far, we got nothing.
So he's going to be perhaps doing some more Aquaman
Maybe.
stuff.
So he came out and he was really happy, and he posted in his video. You can look this up online. It's probably on YouTube. or he posted it on his Instagram, and he was saying how happy he was and he loves James Gunn and Peter Safran and David Zaslav. So there's a lot of speculation now. Is he going to continue playing Aquaman? Is he going to be in a different role? And so there's all kind of speculation with their new DC universe that they're going to start, which I'm kind of disappointed about this because not that I'm a big fan of the Snyderverse DCEU, but it's going to take a long time to get this started.
If they're starting from nothing.
Yeah, if they're starting from scratch, and they're going to be starting with probably Superman, we're getting DC movies this year. We're getting 3 DC movies this year.
Okay.
We're getting Shazam, Fury of the Gods, in March, I think. March or April. And then we're getting The Flash in June. And then we're getting Aquaman, The Lost Kingdom in December.
These are already done deals.
Excuse me.
We're talking after this.
These are all the things that were put into production. So everything else that wasn't in production for the former DCEU was canceled.
Oh.
So even if they start now, when are we going to get the next movie? What? 3 years? 4 years from now?
We don't have enough
kind
information,
of a joke.
I guess. Well, he's happy.
Yeah, so he's really happy. So people are speculating why. Why do you think is it? Do you think he's really happy because he gets to continue playing Aquaman? Do you think he's going to play another DC role? And if so, what do you think it would be?
It would make sense if he's still playing Aquaman. Maybe that statement of canceling everything is not really true. Maybe they're not starting from zero. I said maybe he's happy he's coming back to St. John's because he really likes it here.
Maybe. Once again, we don't have any information. So people are fans want to see Jason Momoa cast as Lobo. Okay.
Who in the heck is that?
It's a Superman villain, alien.
And why would they? Whatever.
Fans, this is a fan casting. People really want to see him as Lobo. It's like a fan favorite character. But general audiences, yeah.
Oh.
Okay. You just got to put a lot of white makeup on him and make him look more like, with the long hair, more like Rob Zombie.
Oh, he's like a Rob Zombie character.
Yeah. Except with lots of
Maybe
muscles.
should get Rob Zombie to come in there.
He's kind of old now.
Sure,
Now, some people are speculating that Jason Momoa could be cast as the new Superman.
Yeah.
Or as the new Batman. I don't see that because isn't Jason Momoa, he's like 42 or 43?
I don't think it's his age.
Well, if you're starting from scratch,
I don't know.
you're going to start a new universe, you want to have your characters be young enough that you can go on for a while,
be starting from scratch.
Okay, so he's now 43. He's going to be 44 this year.
Okay. Could he not be?
Isn't that a bit old to play Batman or Superman?
No, it's much better than trying to have a 13-year-old play him.
Well, you don't want a teenager. You want to have someone who's at least around 30.
It could be any place and time. Anyway, we'll just have to wait to see what they have to say. I doubted they've canceled everything. It makes no sense to start with actors playing characters. Perhaps they canceled things that were in the works.
Well, they canceled Wonder Woman 3.
Well, yay on that.
They canceled Man of Steel 2.
I know.
Which people are upset about that because they want Henry Cavill to come back.
I'm sick of that myself.
Okay. I personally would like to see another Man of Steel with Henry Cavill, but it's not going to happen. Oh well.
Why?
Would you
Zachary, Levi, and him? Why not keep them as the characters and keep on going?
Maybe they'll put them in different roles. I don't know.
Anyway, we'll have to see.
Would you be okay with Jason Momoa playing Superman or Batman? Would you like him to continue?
I don't see him as Superman at all. Maybe Batman, but it's a bit different.
Shave his head, make him a dark, older, brooding Batman. Ugh.
No, Batman's got to grow up sometime. I don't know. I don't see him as either of those characters.
Well, we're supposed to be getting a sequel to Matt Reeves' The Batman with Robert Pattinson, but we haven't heard anything specific on that. Matt Reeves is supposed to be doing another show now about, what is the show about? I can't remember. Buster Keaton. You know who Buster Keaton is?
Yeah.
It's an actor who was in the silent films and then
Long
went
time
into the
ago.
talkies, because that was about 100 years ago.
Well, we'll have to see.
Just under 100 years ago now.
It's about 100 years now.
So, because that was mentioned, because that was also the point of Babylon. Remember that movie, Babylon, that came out at the end of the year? It was long, and that was the thing. It was about a transition. It started in the 20s, and it went to in the 30s, and so all these actors...
between the 20s and the 30s.
Oh, yeah. But these actors who were really big in the silent films, when it got to the talkies, they were washed up.
Yeah.
And they didn't transition well.
No.
But apparently Buster Keaton did.
Oh, okay.
So now if we're getting this, if Matt Reeves is doing this show, which he's writing and directing on Buster Keaton, when is he going to do the Batman sequel? Who knows?
I don't know. We'll have to see what happens.
Oh, well, getting back to Jason Momoa, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just frustrated because all we got is rumors for the last month or two about DC, and I just wish they would come out and actually come out with something concrete and stop with all this rumors and everything, because everyone's just speculating, and it's just like, how long are they going to keep this going on for? The longer they keep it going on for, the worse it's going to get for them, because once they announce something, everyone's going to be like, well, we wanted this though, okay? We wanted so and so to play Superman, this guy to play Batman, this guy to play Aquaman, this lady to play Wonder Woman, I
don't see him as a problem playing anybody. It's just I don't see him as Batman, but maybe that would be a change. I mean. Yeah, maybe. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think's happening with Jason Momoa? Did you see the video that he posted? What's he so excited about? Is it about Aquaman? Is it about something else? He's happy about something, but he's not telling us, and we're still waiting to hear official word from DC, although I'm getting rather pissed off at this point. What do you guys think? Let us know down in the comments below. We'll read it out on the...
Be patient.
I guess. But it's the entertainment industry and 24-hour news cycle, right?
You're instant. You want everything, yeah.
Well, I don't want it now.
Obviously.
We want to know what's going on.
We want to gobble up the content.
Okay, so we just watched a couple of trailers all about J-Lo.
Well, I had seen a trailer for this disastrous wedding, and I was wondering what it was, and so we found it.
So, Shotgun Wedding.
Yeah.
This is coming out...
Literally.
This month, January 27th, on Prime.
Yeah, it looks funny.
It's been released elsewhere someplace, so this is...
it's
J-Lo.
Funny.
She's, it's a shotgun. Apparently she's shooting a lot of people, or just shooting a shotgun all the time.
No,
I didn't get what the story...
movie.
Yes.
You're getting them mixed up.
She was shooting a shotgun in that movie, and it does look wacky, but I don't get what this movie's about. Did you get that from the trailer at all? What do you think this movie's about?
What do I think it's about? I don't think it's too deep. I think it's about, basically there's a wedding and it's all beautiful and everything, but then all of a sudden this SWAT team or something comes in or starts kidnapping them. Perhaps they're in an island, like it's pirates or something, and come to kidnap to get ransom. They're somewhere exotic.
I don't think the trailer really showed us what it's about, or I just wasn't paying attention.
They're kidnapped.
Are you a big J-Lo fan?
Not particularly, but depending on what she's in. And Jennifer Coolidge is in it. It looks funny. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully
Jennifer
it is.
Coolidge is in everything nowadays.
She's always funny. So she plays the guy's mother or something that looks at it. Anyway, it just looks funny. So something to laugh about on January 27th. Hopefully it'll be funny.
But also we're getting You People on Netflix then.
Yeah, this looks more physical comedy.
Are you going to check out Shotgun Wedding on Prime?
Yeah, I'll start and I'll see if it's
Unless I hear good things about it, I'm not overly excited about this.
We'll see.
The trailer didn't really impress me.
No, it's hard to know. It might be garbage.
Okay.
But the other show that we saw was...
What do you guys think about Shotgun Wedding, the trailer?
Yeah.
This is coming out in a week on Prime. Let us know what you guys think down in the comments below if you're going to check it out. And if you do, let us know what you think, if it worked or not. Are you a big J-Lo fan? I'm not. She's had some movies that are okay and other movies that I'm like, nah. So
she's also in
now we're in
The
The Mother.
The Mother. That
looks like an intense action film.
She's playing an action hero. Like she's an assassin and she's jumping over buildings and doing something we don't normally see her doing. So I don't know. It looks different for
There's
her.
a lot of her training and doing chin-ups in the trailer there.
She's
getting into shape.
Her and Natalie Portman together there. Yeah, so I don't know. She's like, it's a different role. We'll have to see.
Okay, so what's this movie about? The mother.
She's an assassin.
So why is she a mother then?
I don't know.
She's going after her kids or something?
Motherland? I don't know.
Protecting her kids?
Doesn't seem like. She seems to be a soldier of some kind.
When is this coming out?
Like a sniper or something.
Now we saw clips of this in that Netflix preview of the
did?
movies for 2023. So this isn't coming out until May 12th.
Right.
On Netflix, unless they change that.
Okay, yeah.
Another movie
She's an assassin in this one.
Okay.
It's interesting. Looks different for her.
As these are just straight to streaming movies, it tells me they're probably not that good. Because Amazon, okay, for Prime, if they have good movies, they put them in theaters. I've seen several movies in theaters from Amazon.
I don't know.
Netflix has only put, so far, I think they've only put Glass Onion in. Let me know if I'm wrong on that.
Isn't that really fun one with Jennifer Aniston and the one where they go on vacation? That one was hilarious.
Murder Mystery?
Murder Mystery.
Yeah, and they should put that in theaters too.
In theaters.
No, but it was good.
Yeah,
was
that
good.
was a good one. I mean, we got to watch it, and we'll tell you once we watch it if it's any good or not.
Well, you check both these movies out.
Okay.
I'm probably not going to unless I hear good things about it.
I remember about that.
But let us know if you check out The Mother, or if you're excited for this coming out in May this year.
It's a different character for her. She's literally playing an action hero.
Yeah, it's different for her.
I see a woman do that anyway.
Yeah, let us know what you think down in the comments below, please.
Right.
So, those are a couple quick trailers. Okay, jumping into the reviews. I got a movie I wasn't able to review last time. Here it is. It's Harley. It's Birds of Prey. It's got fluorescent cover there. Birds of Prey, and the and the Fantabulous Emancipation of one Harley Quinn.
It's the one with the giant.
It's got a giant title. Which, first off, this is a bad title.
Yeah.
Not because it's a giant title, but because they bury the lead. Okay? The reason why people go to see this is they go to see Harley Quinn.
Right.
No one cares. No one cares about Birds of Prey. Okay? I mean, yeah, it's got Rosie Perez in there, and it's got Mary Elizabeth Winstead, I think, who was in those last two Die Hard movies. And she's pretty funny as Huntress in it, but no one cares about Birds of Prey. You would just name you could just call it The Fantabulous Emancipation of one Harley Quinn.
Just call it
featuring Birds of Prey.
I don't know.
You don't even need to mention Birds of Prey at all.
That is too long.
But you don't call it a Birds of Prey movie and then bury Harley Quinn at the end there with its long title. That's burying the lead.
Anyway, I haven't seen it.
Now, this came out, I believe, in 2020.
Yeah.
So no one went to go see this because it's in the middle of the pandemic. And I believe that was when Warner Brothers, under the old regime under AT&T, was releasing all their theatrical movies day and date onto HBO Max. And it lost them millions and millions of dollars for that year. That was a bad decision on their part.
Was closed for most of that time. It was really irritating. We couldn't see anything.
No. Well,
if we wanted to go.
I'm going to look this up on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know why, every time I hear someone talk about this, 2020, they say that they don't like it and there's a lot of hate for this, but I found it really fun. This is a really fun movie. 79% certified fresh critic rating, 78% critic rating. That's not bad. I think the reason why it probably didn't make a lot of money is because no one went to go see it because of the pandemic. But it's really fun. I mean, it starts off early. She's going around being just crazy at nightclubs and everything because she's the Joker's girl. So she can get away with all this stuff.
Right.
Because they don't know that she's broken up with the Joker at this time.
Oh.
And so she's doing all these crazy things. She's getting drunk. She's throwing up at the club. She's getting into fights. She's breaking a guy's leg. And yeah, it's really wacky and fun.
Okay. Doesn't sound fun to me, but
and then she does something that sends a big, huge message to everyone, letting everyone know that she's broken up with the Joker. There's a great food porn scene afterwards.
Okay.
And it just goes from one wacky situation to the next, and it keeps jumping around different times because she's telling the story, and she keeps jumping around. She's like, I gotta go back to this. No, wait, I gotta go back to this. And then
The cat wants you to pet her.
Okay, kitty. Okay, come on, kitty. Come on, kitty poo.
Oh, she's getting wild now.
Okay, she'll come back. So she breaks into a police station, and she's just beating the crap out of cops and hitting guys in the balls. And then it stops, and she's got to go back to tell this other part of the story. The villain in it is a villain that most people have never heard of. Villain's name is Black Mask, who's another crime boss. Apparently, all the villains in Gotham City are all crime bosses. Whether you're the Joker, or you're the Penguin.
I don't know if that's how it works.
Or you're they're all apparently crime bosses. They all got their own gangs, and they control different parts of the city. So Black Mask, he's got his own gang. He runs his own club. He hates Harley Quinn, and when he finds out that she's no longer with the Joker, he's coming after her. Okay? And it's played by Ewan McGregor, and he is having a great time making this movie. He's chewing all the scenery on the set. Okay. He's just having a great time. Now. I didn't
know he was in it. Oh.
Okay. And as for the Birds of Prey, okay, you got Rosie Perez there playing what's her name? Montoya. Detective Montoya. You got Mary Elizabeth Winstead playing Huntress, who's really awkward and everything.
What is the Birds of Prey? As I don't know.
It's a group of these three. It's the detective Montoya. It's Huntress. And it's your favorite character, Black Canary.
Oh God.
Okay, so it's Laurel Lance.
They're good or bad?
No, they're good guys. So they're like their own female vigilante group in Gotham City, and they go around cracking heads, right?
But then she's their nemesis?
Well, the reason why they put Birds of Prey in this Harley Quinn movie is because Harley Quinn doesn't really work just by herself. She works really well when she's playing off other characters. Okay. So why they chose Birds of Prey? This is just a dumb decision from one of the previous Warner Bros. Regimes. I don't know whether it was from AT&T, which was run by Jason Kilar, and before that before AT&T it was Kevin Tsujihara, and so both of these regimes, they didn't know what to do with DC. So they're just throwing stuff at the wall. So they're like, okay, we'll do Birds of Prey. That's another big DC title, sort of. But really, people want to see Harley Quinn, so they just decide, we'll throw her in with Birds of Prey. Now, it's pretty good, but no one cares about the Birds of Prey stuff. There's a fun kid in it as well. Okay. Can't remember the name of the kid.
But does she get together with the Birds of Prey, or are they trying to catch her?
Well, this movie's kind of the start of the Birds of Prey. It's how the Birds of Prey are formed.
Okay, but are they against her, or is she with them? That's my question.
Well, she has to team up with them.
Oh, she's with them. Okay, I wasn't sure if they were trying to catch her, or she was with them.
They team up, but Harley Quinn's a villain.
Yeah, that's why I'm confused.
Okay? And they're good guys. But they have to team up because Black Mask is coming at them with a whole gang. And the way they do it, the end climax is pretty good because there's a big fight scene at the end. I'm not going to spoil it.
Yeah, don't tell me.
But this movie is from 3 years ago now.
I know, I just haven't had a chance.
So there's a big fight scene, and they're all at each other's throats, and then they're like, okay, these guys are coming to kill us. We got to work together, so otherwise we're all dead, right? And then guys start busting in with guns, and they're coming in, SWAT style through the ceiling, and they're taking out these guys with guns, and then they move to a different park because they're in an abandoned amusement park. Of course, Gotham City, abandoned, creepy amusement parks and abandoned zoos.
There's a lot of abandoned stuff there.
Yeah, Gotham is just a terrible place.
They don't have any real estate.
So then they send in the rest of the guys, and these are just thugs, right? Not everyone's got a gun, so they're just coming in with whatever weapons they can find. So it becomes a big slug fest. Okay? And that's fun. And then there's a chase scene. She's chasing after Black Mask. And then it ends on this abandoned Gotham pier. Because everything's abandoned in Gotham.
I know,
anyway,
it is, really. Everything is abandoned.
Ewan McGregor is great in it. And, yeah, I think he had a good time. And the ending for his character is, it's pretty fast, but it's also pretty fun. Okay? So it's not like a big drawn-out fight sequence, because he's not a fighter, right?
Okay.
He's just a guy who runs his own club and has his own gang. And his henchman is Mr. Zsasz, he's another Batman villain. He's got all these scars and likes to cut off people's faces and stuff like that. Yeah. So there's a little bit.
Sound like good to me, but anyway,
It's a fun time. This is a
Okay.
fun time. In terms of Birds of Prey here, which I got my 4K copy to go with my DCEU collection. I give this best movie ever.
Okay.
It's definitely really good. Yep, good job there, Kitty. You want to come and sit down here with us? Are you going to check out this movie?
I've been trying to. I thought I was going to watch it with you, but then I was busy.
Okay.
It's just, I know. I don't
Yeah,
know, things
I asked you to come see. Okay, now, that's my review for Birds of Prey. Have you guys seen Birds of Prey? Let us know down in the comments below what you think of it. I don't think it deserves the hate that it got. I just think a lot of people didn't see it because it came out in the pandemic, and it got released directly on the stream on HBO Max in the US and other places that have HBO Max. We're here in Canada, we don't got HBO Max.
No, and our
which
theater
sucks.
was closed for long periods of time. It's not like even if we wanted
Well,
to
that was
go.
everywhere, but it was open when this came out because I saw it in theater. I had a
Okay.
fun time. Anyway, let me know what you guys think of Birds of Prey and the fantabulous Emancipation of one Harley Quinn. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Moving on, you want to review a book?
Oh, yeah. Well,
Kitty.
it took me like
Come on, Kitty.
a month
There
almost
we
to
go.
get through this
Good
book.
Kitty poof.
And I've been listening to it as an audiobook.
Okay, what's it called?
It's called The It Girl.
Who's it by?
It's by Ruth Ware. And it came out in July 2022.
Good.
I guess it's a bestseller. I don't know. I just randomly choose books, really. I don't really know which one to pick, but this one came up. When I started it I usually read books like on my audiobook at 1 times like 1.3 speed or 1.2 speed because I'm impatient.
Okay.
If you start this book at 1 speed, just the normal speed, it totals 17 hours and 5 minutes. That's why it took me so long to get through it.
Sounds like you were reading It by Stephen King, because that thing is like that thick in
It's
paperback.
432 pages. I didn't
that
know
bad.
that. I didn't look at how long this book was, I guess, when I started it. But, yeah, it took me all through Christmas, and I had a lot of time on my hands, too. But it took me a while, so I finally finished it. Actually, when I first started it, I don't know, I was a bit frustrated with it. I was a bit frustrated with what was happening.
What's
It
it
took me a
about?
while to get into it.
Tell us the premise of the book and sell us on it.
What it's about, it's one of these, it talks about the past and then it goes to the present. Back and forth, back and forth. I was getting kind of frustrated with it at first. But then it does have a rewarding ending. If you have a lot of time to read a book and you've got nothing else to do, go for it. But it is a really long
It's
book.
not a ringing endorsement. Is this an action book?
I'm
Mystery?
talking about it. It's about a murder that happens when these kids are in university. And now this is like 7 years later. And the guy that was accused and put in jail of murdering the student, it's their friend that gets murdered, he has now died.
Is this true crime?
No.
Or is it fiction?
No, it's fiction.
Okay.
So then but there's questions about it, and the problem is the kids that are involved. The girl that was murdered was pretty high profile, and they're constantly like their whole lives got turned around. They were at Penham College at Oxford, and their lives were going really well. And then this happened, and the main character, she basically dropped out of school because of it.
Because of a murder, yeah. Well,
Their
that's pretty
roommate
traumatic.
was murdered. But also it's about like the press always hounding her and stuff like that. But then it comes out that perhaps this guy didn't do it.
Okay.
And it was her evidence that put him in jail. So that's basically what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a back and forth. I liked it okay. I'll give it about an 83%.
Was it meandering? Because it kind of
It's a
sounds
lot.
meandering.
It's a lot. The thing is, I was very frustrated with the main character.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this is supposed to be a really smart girl. She got into this college, Oxford. She should be thinking better. I found the main character to be really frustrating in the things that she did and how she did them, and I just wanted. It was almost like one of those horror movies, and the girl, of course, she runs out of the house into the night,
into the darkness,
and she drops the key. It's like that. It was a lot of that, and the main character really frustrated me, like big time.
So you think they should be smarter if they got into Oxford?
Yeah. She did drop out, and she was supposed to be really smart. I just find that, it frustrated me. But in the end, finding out all the ins and outs of it was interesting. I'd say the first half was really frustrating. The last half kept me engaged, and I wanted to know what happened. But I almost dropped the book. I almost stopped listening to it. So I was rewarded at the end, but it's a bit of a slog.
That's not a very good endorsement there.
Listen, we're doing this not because we have to like something. We're just saying, if you have the time, it's rewarding at the end. Mm-hmm. If you don't have the time, don't bother with it then. Okay. Because it's a lot.
Well, if you're just picking books at random, do you want to read the Star Wars books that I'm reading?
No.
You don't want to find out more about the Star Wars lore?
No, I like more interesting topics. I like sci-fi type of stuff, but not Star Wars. I don't really want Star Wars. I like thriller, I like murder mystery. That's the kind of books that I like. Or ones that talk about interesting topics. I don't want to listen to a Star Wars book.
Okay. Well, I'm working on my second Star Wars book there of the High Republic series.
Right.
So I don't want to take away from your
I'll
review there.
Tell you what
this is a best book ever or worst book ever?
I give it like an 83. So take it.
That's still pretty good.
It was good in the end, but it just took me a long time to get there. Currently, what I'm reading, which I'll review, now I've only just started and it's 8 hours. Most of the books take about 9 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, something like that to get through.
To listen to.
Yeah. It's 12 new mysteries, so it's some of the writers that I've been reading, they have now written their own short story about Miss Marple. So it's Marple 12 New Mysteries. So I'm on like the fourth one. So they're really good, and you can tell the different styles of the writers. I'm really enjoying it. Good. Yeah, and their different take on the character.
Okay.
So yeah, that's a really fun one.
So that's what you're reading next.
Yeah, I'm in the middle, so I will have a review
soon on that. What was this one called again?
This one called The It Girl. It was a bestseller, but I don't know. Got a lot of time. It was craftful. It was craftful the way it was written, but I think
The It Girl by Ruth Ware.
Yeah.
And it came out last year.
Came out in July 2022. In the summer. People that had time to read in the summer, it's a good time to get a big book out like that. People are on vacation, they want to get a book, and their week of vacation, they get through it.
Yeah, I guess.
Sure. Now with fast pace, if your life is fast paced, don't pick this book.
Well, I'm not listening to audiobooks. I'm actually reading books, and
this is a real book that you can
I believe you. I'm just saying I prefer to actually read them. I have no time to read them. I might read for half an hour before I go to bed, and then I fall asleep. So that's why it takes me forever to get through a book. Exactly.
That's why I've changed to audiobooks, because I have a lot of books. I'd love to read them, but I just can't be going around with a book in my hand. I have too many things to do, so that's why I've taken to audiobooks. But these are real books. It's just I listen to them instead of.
So, did anyone out there read The It Girl by Ruth Ware? What did you think of it? Was it good? Was it bad? Was it as good as Christine's 85%? I don't know. Let us know what you think down in the comments below. Now, I watched a movie with the kid a couple days ago. Watched Batman Begins. Here's my original DVD from back in 2005.
Still play those.
Yeah.
Was it 2005? Wow.
Yeah, this came out in 2005. I'll get you the exact date. It probably was in the summer, I'm guessing. But what do I know? Yeah, June 15th, 2005. And this movie, it came with, obviously you got the DVD there. But it also came with its own little mini comic They're with a bunch of like mini
cute.
stories of some classic Batman stories.
That's cute.
And some newer ones.
Nice.
I probably did read it back in the day.
Yeah. I saw it in the theater, but I don't recall too much, but I know I liked it.
I did not see this one in the theater. Now, 2005, this is a big step up from the previous two Batman movies that we had got.
This is the first Christopher Nolan Batman.
This is the start of his Dark Knight trilogy, because prior to this, in 97, we got Joel Schumacher's Batman and Robin, and before that, in 95, we got Joel Schumacher's Batman Forever.
Which one is the one that has the Iceman in it?
Batman Robin. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, people don't really like that. It's pretty wacky and ridiculous.
Bad.
I watched that with the kid last year. I was laughing at a lot of it. I'm like, oh, this is so bad.
I thought it was really bad.
Now,
that one.
This one has a lot of problems in it that those movies had as well. For instance, I'm not a big fan of the suit in this one. I don't think it looks very good. Especially the cowl.
Myself.
The cowl, because he's got this it's kind of like a round head, and then it's rounded around him, and then he's got these bat ears on top. You want more like a square head, and then the ears just stick right up.
I thought it was a great restart.
But
it had ended on a bad note, the previous movie.
This suit goes back to the same problems that they had with Batman from 1989, that they still had to this one, was that it's this big, rubber cowl, and you can't turn your head at all. So that's why Michael Keaton and all the other Batmans, they're always, doing these big dramatic movements, because you can't turn your head. If you turn your head, you'll rip it.
Oh.
And that actually happened on set a few times. But, so, I'm not a big fan of this suit. However, it's definitely better than the Batman suits we got in Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. Because Batman Forever starts off with...
What happens in that one?
It starts off with, the classic Tim Burton suit. They make it look better, except Joel Schumacher put nipples on it.
I remember there was some nipples.
Anyway, it starts off with the classic black suit, and he's got the yellow emblem on his chest. Okay. And then it switches later on in the movie to this ridiculous, dumb-looking Batman suit.
Remind me what happened
and then in Batman and Robin, the suits are even worse, and they're terrible. I didn't
like that movie.
And you can't move in them. Now, the action in this movie is not that great, because it's all just cuts. Because you can't move in the suit. Now, the first time you see Batman in this movie, they're at the docks, and they're going through the shipping containers. Oh, sorry. Okay. So you're not supposed... And it's more like a horror movie. You're not supposed to see Batman.
It was really dark.
It is dark.
And a really great change, because what we had been getting was garbage.
Yeah.
And,
Those
comical.
wacky neon...
It was going back to, the television series from the 60s.
Yeah, it was campy.
But not... Yeah, I don't
Joel
like that at all.
Schumacher stuff was definitely campy.
I was really glad that this was I remember feeling this is refreshing, this is a great new take on it. Different. I'm happy with this. That's what I remember from it.
Because after Batman and Robin came out, they benched it for 8 years before we got this.
That was poor, that one.
And people still remember the teaser trailer that we got for this, because this was back when you would first see trailers in the theater. And you'd watch this trailer and you're like, what is going on? Christian Bale's talking about stuff, and there's all these different shots of different parts of the world and the city and everything. You don't know it's Gotham. And then at the end, for 1 second, you see the suit. You see him in the suit.
Oh.
And
I just thought it was really gritty and dark.
So the main villain in this is Ra's al Ghul and the League of Shadows, who team up with the Scarecrow, Professor Crane, played by Cillian Murphy, who's in every Christopher Nolan movie now. He
can be always creepy.
Yeah, he can be. He's really good. And so Ra's al Ghul is played by Liam Neeson. Mm-hmm. So just a little bit of trivia here for you. There's only 3 people in the entertainment industry who can kill Liam Neeson. And the first one is Batman. Obviously, Batman can kill anyone, right? If he wants to. So Batman can kill Liam Neeson. And then also... Darth Maul can kill Liam Neeson in The Phantom Menace, and
he did come back to life.
And he's a Force ghost. But the third person who can kill Liam Neeson in the movies is Viola Davis. Don't mess with her; she's a badass. She's Amanda Waller, and she was also the Woman King just last year. So yeah, those are the 3 people who can kill Liam Neeson.
Okay. So
overall, now people make a big deal
this.
about this movie. I think other people like this more than I do.
I liked it.
I enjoy it, but I was let down by the action.
Okay.
Because the way it's done, it's not an action movie.
Okay.
And when there is action, it's all just cuts. And I'm like, that's not interesting. I don't want to see that. Whereas when we saw The Batman last year, you see these long shots where not only is Batman beating the guy, but then the guy falls down and he keeps beating him at the beginning. And then there's these scenes in the club where he's taking on all these guys, and it's just one shot for the most part. And you want to see that action. You don't want to see it just cut all the time. Just cut.
I don't remember having problems with that. I just thought it was a much better take on the character. It was dark, it was gritty, it was interesting.
Yeah, it was definitely...
And it was way more credible, I guess.
You got Gary Oldman as Commissioner Gordon. He's great.
Yeah, I do remember that, yeah.
Although, there is Christian Bale's Batman, he's doing the voices. I'm Batman. Swear to me.
But he's not broody and
this was
evil.
This was the first time we saw that, and we're like, oh, geez, buddy, with the voice, come on. And he stayed with it for all 3 movies. He's like, I'm doing this voice. I'm Batman.
Listen, when I watch a movie, I don't care about the suit, really, or the voice. These are not things that I care about.
The way this movie is put together, because it jumps timelines a lot, especially at the beginning of the movie, it's jumping timelines all the time. First, it's the kids playing. It's young Bruce Wayne playing with Rachel, and they're having fun. He falls into a cave, and then suddenly it's Bruce Wayne, and it's young Bruce Wayne in his 20s, and he's in jail in China or something, or Nepal or something, right? And he's in prison. He's beating the crap out of like 10 guys, and then suddenly it goes back, and it's Bruce Wayne, and he's being rescued. It's young Bruce Wayne again being rescued by his dad from the cave. That's because apparently under Wayne Manor is all just caves, because that's where you build your house. So you got to have a bat cave.
Yeah.
And then it goes back to him in China or Nepal, wherever, and he's climbing up the mountain because he's got to get the blue flower and bring it up the mountain to go train with the League of Shadows and meet up with Liam Neeson again. And then it goes back to him being in his young 20s when he's come back from university or college, and he's back in Gotham now, and he's only there because he's going to see his dad's killer, and somewhere in there's the origin story. Anyway, it just jumps back and forth all the time in these different timelines, and it's great. Again,
but I liked this movie. That's what I recall.
It's good. It's not my favorite Batman movie. Maybe I should rank the Batman movies sometime, because I have been watching a lot of them.
You wouldn't feel the same about them, because you really enjoyed that recent The Batman, and I totally did not. I thought that was bad.
It was long, but I did really enjoy it. It was the best comic book movie of 2022.
I don't think so at all.
Overall, I would still give Batman Begins a best movie ever from 2005. It does a really good job on the origin story of Batman, like really good. Does a good job with Ra's al Ghul and the League of Shadows, and we get Scarecrow. So those are all villains we hadn't seen in other Batman iterations, because every time they do a Batman movie, it's always Joker. I'm like, I'm sick of seeing the Joker.
It was refreshing at the time, and I was glad to see the restart, because I was starting to hate Batman movies.
Well, with those Joel Schumacher ones, a lot of people didn't like them. The Joel Schumacher ones, you were asking me. So Batman Forever, it was with Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey playing Two-Face and the Riddler. And the Riddler is taking over Gotham with his invention, and he's sucking people's IQ out of their minds with his stupid TV invention, and he's getting smarter, and then he gets too much smarts from them, and it was just ridiculous. And also Robin first appeared in that one, Chris O'Donnell, who's like 35 years old at the time. 35-year-old Robin, so okay. Yeah. Anyway, so Batman Begins, best movie ever. You enjoyed this one? What rating would you give this?
I'd have to watch it again, but I did really like it. I liked that movie, and then what's the next one?
Yeah, we'll get into that, because I'm going to watch that.
That whole series, there's 3 of them. Is there not? Is there 2 or 3?
No, there's 3. It's the
Yeah.
Dark Knight trilogy. There's Batman
Yeah.
Begins, The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, I liked all 3 of them, but I'd have to watch them again to give it a score, but I did like it. Anyway.
I'm probably going to end up watching the next 2, okay, with our daughter sometimes, so then I'll review those, and I'll let you know when I'm watching them, so you can join us if you have time.
Okay.
And then I'll review that. But what are your guys' thoughts on Batman Begins by Christopher Nolan, starring Christian Bale and Michael Caine and Gary Oldman?
Great
Morgan
cast.
Freeman's in it as Lucius Fox. And Liam Neeson's in it. I mean, it's great. So, what are your guys' thoughts on it? Maybe you like it. Maybe you don't like it. Let us know what works for you or what doesn't and why. Let's leave a comment down below.
Okay.
What do we got next to review? You have been watching Kaleidoscope.
Yeah, I've been watching Kaleidoscope, which is a show that you can start anywhere, apparently. Now, I don't know what the last
Yeah,
episode...
people watch them in different order. It gives you them in different order.
It's giving me them in a certain order. The first one I watched, I believe it's supposed to be 7 years. It's all before the heist. It's all about the heist. And this one is... The first one was 7 years
Yeah, the
before
green
the
episode.
heist.
I watched that.
Then I saw one
The yellow episode.
that was just a few months before the heist.
Okay.
And then I watched one that was 25 years before the heist.
25 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
25 years. It explains the relationship between the 2 main characters. The 2 main characters are the Giancarlo Esposito and Rufus Sewell. Those are the 2 main characters, and explains a lot about the show. You would have seen
About
them.
this heist. Are you enjoying
It's
this?
not about the heist. It's necessary. It's about 2 people who used to work together who are now enemies, big enemies. It's that's what it's about.
Okay.
It's about revenge.
I don't
what
think
it's
this
about.
is getting good ratings. I tapped out of it after the first episode.
I'm not.
What are
I'm
you
enjoying
thinking
it.
of it? Okay.
It's not. I mean, it's not absolutely fantastic, but I'm enjoying it. So I'm learning their motivations, why
Ooh.
this is why they hate each other. Well,
Mhm.
why one hates the other. The other one just mostly did something really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's interesting. It's an interesting take on it. It's fun.
Okay.
So,
It's got a 47% rotten rating on Rotten Tomatoes and 45% audience score.
I don't think it's that bad. I don't know. It's entertaining. I've been watching it. It's been entertaining.
I found it rather blah and cheap production myself. I did review it, and I just, I ain't sticking with this. So I just tapped out because I guess there's so much stuff coming out all the time. There's all kinds of old things I want to watch too. I don't want to waste my time with garbage.
Well, I don't find it's garbage. Anyway, I'm watching it. It's interesting.
Okay, you're going to finish watching it?
Yeah,
How many
I want to know what
episodes is
happens in the heist. Obviously, the last episode is the heist.
8 episodes.
I'm guessing.
And you're how many episodes in?
3 or 4.
3 or 4?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, Kaleidoscope. Okay, so our next episode, it's Sunday now, our next episode will be recorded on Friday, so you'll finish that up and report back to us?
Hopefully, I've got a busy week, but
Okay.
I'll try.
What do you guys think of Kaleidoscope on Netflix? Did anyone finish watching it? Do you like it? Do you not like it? It's not getting the greatest ratings. I tapped out of it already. Christine's watching it. She'll let us know. Maybe it gets better. Maybe it gets worse. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let us know down in the comments below. Now, yesterday, I watched the first episode of You on Netflix.
Right.
It's 3 seasons.
I have.
And
is
this
it,
was
is there a
re-
new season then?
There's a 3rd season, I believe, that came out last month or something.
Oh, I've
So,
seen.
This was recommended to me this week. Someone recommended it to me. So I said, okay, I'll check it out. So I checked out the first episode, and I'm like, this is not for me. It's all about this guy who's the manager of a bookstore, and he meets this woman, and so he immediately just starts stalking her. And it's a lot of, he's very quiet, but it's all inner monologue, so there's voiceover in it. So it's all his inner monologue, and he's just rationalizing everything that he's doing. He's doing research, but really what he's doing, he's cyber stalking her, then he follows her around town for a couple of days, and then he's peeping at her outside her apartment, and this is the only person in New York City, this woman, who doesn't have any window coverings.
Yeah,
No blinds, no
with
drapes.
that.
I mean, I know they're expensive, But when you live in the city, everyone's going to have curtains, or they're going to put up a blanket, or every once in a while you'll see someone put up a flag. Okay? But anyway, she's just got her apartment wide open, and oh man.
Yeah.
So he's just peeping on her and watching her having casual hookups.
Oh.
And then he's.
Well, how many episodes did you watch?
I just watched the first one. I'm like, this is not good.
No, it gets really complicated, though. I watched
the
first season and most of the second season. I gave up in the second season.
I find this really odd because this was recommended to me by a woman.
It is very
This is what women want to see? This crazy stalker guy? I don't get that. What is the appeal of this show? It's about a guy, and he is not raised normally. He's almost raised like a person that was raised in I don't know, in prison or something. I assume there's lots of different women that he follows around in the show. No. Because this woman that starts out, she's not in the whole series. No, but she's the first season. Yeah, so it's different women. And then the next time he has to get the heck out of there because he burns a lot of bridges and he gets into a lot of trouble. And he always seems to, he goes across the country because that one's she's in New York. He goes breaking a lot of laws. California, and he doesn't really jive that well with the Californians. And he falls in love with a girl named Love. And her name's Love. Yeah, there is a lot of interesting things though that happen in it. It does have a lot of story going on, but it's very creepy. On YouTube now. Yeah, I've watched. I don't know if I came out in 2018. It's been a while since I watched it. Critics like it. 91% score. It's interesting. They're calling it a psychological thriller. I mean, it's got a lot going on. He gets in trouble. He keeps on. Oh my gosh. He lets a guy go at one point. Actually. Well, this is a Greg Berlanti show. It's interesting. It's part of the Berlanti verse. Yeah, but it is interesting, but it got a bit much for me. But it's interesting for sure. You know who Greg Berlanti is? Yes, I know. He made a lot of the shows. He made all those CW shows. Yeah, the Arrowverse shows. And Riverdale. Yeah, I didn't like Riverdale. Anyway, it got a bit too much for me and I stopped watching it. But it has a lot of twists and turns in it. I'll say that for it. Okay. And the second one, the girl, the breakneck lady, that's from The Haunting of Hill House. She's Love in the second season. Okay. She's the girl and she has a brother who, it's about her and her brother, and he gets in with these California people who are a lot different than the New York people. But he also is the same kind of thing. He has a place to put people. This first episode of You. It's a lot. And it's on Netflix. It's creepy. It's creepy. Weird. I don't understand why people are watching this, but if that's their thing, it ain't my thing. I barely made it through the first episode. I think I got halfway through it and already. And normally when I'm watching something, I don't have my phone out. I turn my phone off. I'm watching something. I'm paying attention to that. Halfway through this episode, I was on my phone looking up stuff. I'm like, this is not good. I don't even want to watch this. It's definitely suspenseful. I find, like, basically the guy is not, everyone thinks he's a normal guy and he's not. Yeah, and he's quiet. He's not a normal guy. Because he's quiet and polite to people, but really this guy's a nutcase. He tries to do good. He tries to do good, but he always keeps on screwing up and killing someone by mistake. Anyway, well, it's got 3 seasons. It definitely is interesting. And it's got like 70% audience score. It's a little bit off of what I normally enjoy, but I did enjoy that he keeps on getting away with it. He keeps on getting away. And, yeah, there's some definitely good twists, though, in the whole thing. Yeah. Anyway. I did not care. It's got 77% audience score, which means that about 3/4 of people who watched it had something positive to say about it. Doesn't mean they say it was great. They could just be like, it was okay. So that doesn't really tell me that much. A friend of mine recommended it. She really enjoyed it. I didn't really enjoy it, but yeah, probably 77 or something. I'd give it probably 72 or 75, something like that. I mean, The Handmaid's Tale only has like a 63% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's way better than this. Although I'm tapping out. I watched the first episode. It's not good. Goes through for me.
he's obsessive and what he does, and he keeps on getting himself in trouble.
Well, it's got 3 seasons, and that's on Netflix. They usually cancel everything after 1 or 2 seasons, so someone's watching it.
I found it too much for me.
Okay, Christine's tapped out. I'm not watching it. What do you guys think of the series You on Netflix? Let us know what you think down in the comments below, whether you like it or not, and we'll read out the comments on the next episode. Yeah, some people, well, it was recommended to me, and I'm like, this ain't for me. Now, if you like it, I don't want to take your enjoyment away from that. At the time when
I watched it, there wasn't much to watch, but I don't know. It's okay. It's interesting and how he gets into trouble, but it becomes too much.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's my review on that. I'm not watching that. Next, okay, 2 more things that we gotta do. So, quickly, I finally finished watching Wednesday, and I didn't get time to review it on our last episode. So, this show was really good for me, for the first 5 episodes. It just kept getting better and better. And then the last 3, it just dropped right off. Because it wasn't funny, it just became nonsense soap opera teen drama.
Yes, that's what I was telling you all along. It was not a good show.
But before that, it was funny.
You never
It was
watched
a good
Harry
teen
Potter.
Drama coming of age.
It is a copycat of
This
Harry
is my
Potter.
review. Can I talk about it? Okay. Overall, I would say this show was alright. I enjoyed it. I understand why they're making another episode there. And I don't know. The last 3 episodes, they were just kind of meh to boring. They weren't great.
That's how I found the whole series.
But I enjoyed the first 5 episodes, especially episode 4 with the dance. It was really good. It had great references to Carrie and Blade, and it had a lot of funny moments in it. There was definitely some good laugh out loud moments in it. I found it good, and it worked for me. Now, this was a big success. They've already announced season 2 is coming to Netflix. So this is going to come.
If you're 13, sure. Because it's like all this kids going to a dance, and I just couldn't take it.
That's not true at all. I've seen reviews of people that are like in their 60s that like this show.
If you're 13, you're going to like it. If you're not 13, you're not. Like you just said, you thought it. Well, I tried to watch it, and after I just like, oh my gosh, this is like this one has a crush on this person, and this one has a crush. That's not what I want to be watching. I'm not 13.
Not for you, but a lot of other people did enjoy it, and I enjoyed most of it. If there's a season 2, I'll come back and watch it. I guess I would have to give this a best series ever then, because I enjoyed it more than I didn't enjoy it. It had some good stuff in it. It did have some bad stuff in it. It wasn't perfect.
You never watched Harry Potter movies. It was a complete knockoff of Harry Potter, I felt.
Yep.
And it was about teenagers drooling over each other, which that's not what I want to be watching.
Just like Cobra Kai.
Well, I don't watch Cobra Kai either. But
Cobra Kai's fun, although the last season just kind of went into soap opera nonsense. But that's not what we're talking about. Yeah, I'd have to give it a best series ever, I guess, because I'm going to check out season 2 when it comes out. What are your thoughts on Wednesday on Netflix? Check it out because it's a big cultural thing. Let us know what you think down in the comments below. And now the last thing I want to talk about, because it just dropped on, when was the 19th? Thursday. Yeah. That is when on Netflix they dropped That 90s Show.
Oh, yeah.
This was great. I had a good time. It's 10 episodes. I think there were 2 episodes near the end, 8 and 9, that weren't as good for me. But I still enjoyed watching the show overall. There was lots of laughs in it. They brought back almost all the characters from That 70s Show. Right. So, Kurtwood Smith and... Oops, sorry. I didn't even touch her. I just put my hand here on the pillow.
Very frisky.
She's all feisty. Okay, good kitty. So, Red and Kitty Foreman are back.
Yes.
That's Kurtwood Smith and Deborah Jo Rupp. I mean, they look the same. They look as if they haven't aged in 20 years.
Yeah, she looks the same.
And they're great. And they're regular characters. They're in every episode because it's their house. Okay? Right. So they're great in it. And then they bring in guest stars. But they don't do it all in one episode. They space them out. So the guest stars are in different episodes. So in the
Right.
first episode, you get Eric and Donna.
Yeah.
Okay? And Laura Pepperon, who plays Donna, she's hilarious. Okay? She's hilarious. Topher Grace, I'm not a big Topher Grace fan. And he wasn't really that funny in that episode. Also, he kind of looks like a tangerine in it. He's got that Hollywood orange tan. Because it's California. He looked a bit too tanned, to live in Wisconsin, let's say. Who else was in the first episode? Oh yeah, at the end, it's in the trailer, Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis show up. So Jackie and Kelso show up, and Jackie is just yelling at him as always, which is great, and I'm sure they had fun doing it, otherwise they wouldn't do it, because they're married in real life. So I'm sure she yells at him all the time, but them showing up was really good, and it was a funny moment. And it was nice for them to do it. I mean, the only one you didn't really get in this show was Danny Masterson, who played Hyde in that 70s show, because he's got some legal problems, let's say.
Is he going to jail, or?
Well, there was a mistrial, so now there's going to be a new trial.
He won't be.
I don't really want to get into that. He ain't going to be in that. Who else was in it? They didn't bring back the neighbor's wife, Midge, but they brought back Bob Pincignati for an episode.
Okay.
And they had the 70s fro on him, too. That was hilarious.
But isn't this the 90s?
It is, but he's still got the 70s fro. It's just not as big.
Oh.
But he's all emotional all the time. It was good.
I don't know. It's not like...
They brought back Laura Pepperon for a few episodes, and she's great in it. Okay, Fez?
Yeah.
What's his name? Wilmar. Do you know his last name?
Oppenheimer.
Yeah. He is a comedic genius. Okay? He's in several episodes, so he's not just a cameo or a guest star. He's actually in like 3 or 4 episodes. Right. And every episode he's in is hilarious. This guy's great. And in real life, he owns that Vista Cruiser. At the end of that show, he got it.
Oh, nice.
Okay, they gave it to him.
Right.
So he owns it in real life. I guess maybe he collect cars. I don't know. But Fez in it, oh man, I was busting a gut laughing.
Okay.
But really, this show is not about seeing the returning cast. It's not about the legacy cast. They're doing the Cobra Kai approach. They use the legacy cast to get you to come in to watch the show. But what they do is they have to win you over with the new cast.
Okay.
Because that's what's going to keep you coming back. And they definitely did a good job because there's the foreman's daughter, Eric and Donna's daughter, Leia, because of course he named her after Star Wars because he's obsessed with Star Wars. And then there's the neighbor's kid, Gwen, and her stepbrother, Nate. He's the big guy, and he's always making out with his girlfriend, Nikki. And then there's the short Asian gay kid, Ozzy.
Okay.
Weird name. I don't think I've ever met anyone named Ozzy. And who else is there? And then there's the Kelso's kid. There's Jackie and Kelso's kid is Jay. And so he's got the good looks of his dad, but the brains of his mom. So he's not just the airhead. He's not just playing another Kelso.
Oh, okay.
Although he is kind of dumb. Anyway, there's a lot of good moments with these kids. Because in fact, there's some episodes where they don't bring in any of the guest stars. You see Kitty in red. I don't think she wants to be bothered right now. But there's lots of good laughs in this show. If you're a fan of that 70s show, I would definitely recommend checking it out. But even if you're not, this is a fun time. I had a lot of fun watching this. I think I watched like 7 episodes in one day. Because they're only 22 minutes long. And also, it's the Great White North. We had that snowstorm yesterday.
Yeah.
So I was inside all day, and this is what I did. In amongst doing chores and work around the house, I was watching all these episodes. But it was a real fun time. And if they keep bringing this back, I would definitely watch this. Did you watch a lot of that 70s show?
No, I never liked it.
No?
No, I didn't really care for it. Like, I call it smart-ass humor. I don't care for it that much.
This show currently has 74% critic rating on Rotten Tomatoes and a 75% audience score. So 3/4 of the people watching it are enjoying it at least somewhat.
Okay.
So Anyway, they do revisit a lot of the old storylines and a lot of the old jokes, but they do it differently. So they go back to the water tower. There's the beer keg. They bring back the Vista Cruiser, although you don't really get to see it very much. Well,
Doesn't
like
want
the
anyone
scene.
to scratch it, I suppose.
Well, I mean, when they came out with that show in the late 90s, that 70s show, you couldn't buy a Vista Cruiser because the price shot up. Because everyone wanted one.
I was really busy in the late 90s, so I didn't really watch a lot of TV, but it's just not, I didn't really care for it that much.
But I love seeing the old cast and the new gang of kids. They're great. Okay, they won me over. They weren't perfect. It wasn't as good as like the first couple of seasons the first season of Cobra Kai. Because I really enjoyed that. But I had a good time, and I would definitely give this a best TV series ever.
Right.
And I recommend checking it out if you have Netflix or if you were a fan of that 70s show. But even if you never saw it, just watch this. It's a great time.
Right.
And it makes sense that all those old cast members would come back because that's how they all got started, was from that show. Because then Ashton Kutcher, Mila Kunis, Topher Grace, Laura Prepon, all of them went off to do other stuff.
Right. Yeah. I'm just seeing A Man Called Otto there. I did go to see that movie. I didn't talk about it on the show.
You want to review it now before we wrap things up? Okay, go ahead. Hold on. So, have you seen that 90s show? Are you going to? Let us know what you think down in the comments below. We'll read it out in the next episode. Okay, you're going to talk about Man Called Otto.
Yeah.
With Tom Hanks. What'd you think?
I didn't like it a whole lot.
No?
No.
I enjoyed it.
I didn't really like it that much.
Is it because it's about heavy topics?
Well, it was too personal for me because, he's trying to like hang himself for like a half an hour, and someone I know was close to hung himself, and so that wasn't very fun for me, I must say. I didn't know that was in it. I probably wouldn't have gone.
Spoilers for A Man Called Otto. It's not a comedy. There's a lot of comedy in it, but it's not a comedy at the end of the day.
I didn't really like it that much. No, I think it was missing a spark for sure. I mean, I like the neighbor character, but his character, he was just such a jerk to everybody. And he was boring.
He was an angry old man.
But I just think that his neighbors were exceptionally nice to him. I don't think that would even happen. Even around here, I don't think people are very friendly here, but I don't think they would still be nice to him. He was such an idiot to them.
Although he did live there for a long time, so some of them knew him from long time ago, but the new neighbors, they were kind of, I don't know.
That's unbelievable.
They were very nice people, let's say.
Nice. If they had come from a different country or something, maybe, and when everyone got along, I don't know. It was a bit unbelievable. And I didn't care for it that much. Okay. It was okay.
The worst movie ever for you?
I don't know. I'd give it like a 66. I didn't care for
it. You're too forgiving. If you say you don't like it, you get like 20%.
No. I mean, there was interesting things in it, but I really didn't. I didn't care for the character, and I find out there a lot of people are really not being nice to others, and to celebrate that, I don't think is a good thing.
I don't think they were celebrating it. The point is he needs to be more friendly and nicer to other people, not be such a dick all the time.
He was never really that friendly. Well, not until they kind of, it took a long time.
They did wear him down throughout the movie, and then he was being nice to them.
But I kind of didn't like celebrating that, because I find that's the way a lot of people are, and if they think they're going to be like that and their neighbors are still going to be nice to them, well, they got something else coming. I didn't care for it that much, no. I didn't like it.
Okay, really. So Christine didn't like A Man Called Otto. I'd give it a best movie ever rating, because I definitely enjoyed it. It's not my favorite film, but it came out right at the end of 2022.
I like a lot more of his films. I really like some of his films. But
Tom Hanks?
Yeah, I didn't like this one.
Didn't care for it. What do you guys think of A Man Called Otto? Let us know down in the comments below. Before we wrap it up, I got one comment here. Angelo the Kid was replying to our Twitter feed for the show, and we were talking about Missing, the movie. I don't think a lot of people are seeing that movie in theaters.
Yeah, I'd like to see that one.
I thought it was really good. It was a really fun time. He was saying, so Angelo, the kid, says, it was okay if it were not for the Searching universe. I think it was made by the same people who made Searching that came out in 2017, 2018. And so it's done the same style of cinematography. They just do a better job of it because there's more cameras, more technology
I guess
now.
this guy wanted some just straight
and he
normal
says
movie
Storm
action.
Reed is great. And yeah, she is great.
Yeah.
In fact, I've seen her
But
in
it
a
might
bunch
be
of
a
stuff.
bit-
She was even in James Gunn's The Suicide Squad, that kid.
Yeah.
She was the kid that Idris Elba was yelling at. That was his daughter they was yelling at when she was visiting him in prison.
I don't remember.
And they're just swearing at each other and screaming at each other.
I don't remember that. But I suppose, yeah, maybe he just wanted to be like a normal movie for a little while, because it can be a lot of screens. It might be a bit distracting for people.
It's definitely very different.
Yeah.
Definitely very different.
Yeah.
But anyway, thanks Angelo the kid for the comment. If you have any comments, you can let us know and we'll read it out in the next episode. How can people get in touch with us, Christine?
Okay, they can email us at CanadaMovieTVPosers@gmail.com.
Yep, we check that email all the time, put it on the screen, and these will all be in the description down below.
You can find us on Twitter at CanadaHosers.
Yep, that's where we post all of our, whenever a new episode or a new short goes up, that's where we post it, that the notification is there.
And you can also find Gregory on Twitter at St. John's Critic.
Yeah, I'm on there pretty much every day. Not all the time, but I try to post there every day at least a couple of times.
I don't really get Twitter, so I don't do Twitter.
Okay there,
I
Grandma.
don't tweet. I don't do either.
You're not into the social media
I
that
just
much.
find it when I go into it, just never brings up anything I want to see. I don't understand how to navigate it. I find it really irritating, actually. I don't care for Twitter at all.
Okay, well, sit down and teach you sometime if you want. Other than that, I think we'll wrap things up there because we've been going for over an hour. So take care, everyone. We'll see you on the next episode.
Yeah.